to support, the cause, whatever just cause there is. And I always wondered those days because I'm the kind of person that loves to plan, loves to calculate, and I love to be sure of what's going on. But George, he doesn't care about if he has anything left, for himself. When he's about to give, he gives with all his heart, to support the needy. George is my friend, and I know he's passionate about four things. One, his family. Two, he's very passionate about helping the needy. He's very passionate about his music. And George is also passionate about a particular football club in England. And then if you're close to George, if you think you're close to George and you've never heard him talk about Manchester United, then I think you should think again. I also want to say that he's a very great guy, and I'm not surprised at what he has achieved so far because he's always had that passion driving him. And he's the type of person that jumps into what he's about to do. He gets his project running without wondering how he's going to accomplish it. I worry about the how so much, but he just gets the project running. And then in the end, it seems to always work out. And I'd just like you to give George a round of applause for taking a very, very big step. Many of us might have such things in our minds playing and such dreams, but it takes someone like George to take the first step, to plunge into it and to believe in it and to see it through. I also want to implore every one of us to support him by purchasing his book because it's very inspiring. I have a copy myself. I've read it from cover to cover. He highlights about the great riches of Africa, the great resources. And it's a very inspiring book for the youths who are going to rule in the next generation because it tells us about how wealthy we are and how we can harness all our resources to make a better Africa. It talks about bridging the gap between Europe and Africa. And I believe if he continues driving like this, with this passion and this dream, I believe in not very long time, we would achieve a lot. Africa would develop, to become as close to Europe as possible. I also just want to mention, like he's already highlighted the charity Soul Minds. It's the vision is very, very interesting and very, very encouraging. I want to also congratulate all those that are working with him so far to accomplish what they've accomplished thus far. And I want to say that for all those that have attended today, when you go out of here, you can talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors to join in this good mission. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you for listening.
Lale, ladies and gentlemen, George's friend. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Lale. Very shortly, we'll see the midnight. Well, I just have a question for you tonight. What do you know about Africa? Anybody? What do you know about Africa? Because this charity, spearheaded by George, is bridging the gap between Europe and Africa. We've seen a few videos about Africa. Not that that's the whole thing that goes on in Africa. We know There are some politicians in Africa that eat all the money and they eat the burger as well. But what do you know about Africa? Anybody? What do you know about Africa? Yes. 55 countries in Africa. A big applause for Rosanna. Rosanna, where you from? Originally. Excellent. You know more about Africa than I do. Is that correct? 55 countries in Africa. Excellent. So you're not sure? You went, yeah. You're not sure, sir. 20 pounds on it. You're not sure. I beg your pardon. The Red Cross. And you're in the red gown tonight. And in 55 countries. Thank you, Rosanna. Any other person, what do you know about Africa? Any other person? It can get quite hot. Like how many degrees are we talking about here? Hotter than England. That's your favorite part. That's why you want to go to Africa. Okay, so you seem to know so much about Africa. What part of Africa are you from, sir?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Nigeria.
Nigeria, excellent. How about you, sir? What part of Africa are you from? Nigeria as well. Excellent. So I'm from Nigeria as well, as you can tell from my look. I look African, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I look like somebody that has tasted fufu before, and they go see so, don't I? Yeah, good. Excellent. Do you know, gentlemen, the last time I asked this question, what do you know about Africa? Somebody raised up his hand and he said, I know something about Africa. I know the mother beats the children.
It's not really kind of concerns for ministry.
Is that correct? Yes. Because when I was growing up, you see, my mom, they do it stylishly, they don't like just beat. My mom, we could be in church because we're very religious. Like, you know, we pray a lot. We could be in church, and my mom can be worshiping God with one hand. Thou art worthy, O Lord. And she could be taking my life with the other hand. To receive glory, honor, and power. For thou art created.
What did you say?
Honestly, with our eyes closed, you know, and it could coincide with when the pastor says, someone shout hallelujah, you won't kill me this boy. I was a naughty one, I tell you. I was a naughty one. Right, we're about to go into the journey so far, you see, because what George has been doing is quite a phenomenal thing, trying to bridge the gap and do a lot of charity work and help the needy, the actual needy. You know, sometimes in England, if someone calls themselves needy, and I look at them and I smile because they don't look needy, isn't it? Because the other day was in Vauxhall and I saw this beggar, right? And was asking for money. You know, asking for money, and I gave him £5, and he said it's too small. Hard to eat. So I had to add £10. Well, in Africa, real needy people, they got no choice. You must have seen some of the pictures over there, and they looked really, really skinny, and then the mosquitoes are really big. You know, like the size of a rat in England. You see the rat before? I see so many rats in Seven Sisters. Big rats, isn't it? The mosquitoes are that big. Sir, why are you laughing, sir? Am I lying?
Yeah, it's not true. So
Am I exaggerating?
No, it's not. It's not.
Am I?
It's a lie.
Yeah, I've got to tell the brother so that I can give big money for charity.
Even in Nigeria, if you give them 10,
So,
then
seriously, tonight George is going to take us through the journey so far. He's going to tell us a bit about what he's been doing. You know, a lot of the time we complain in England. You know, people complain in England when it gets so hot, oh, it's so hot. When it gets too cold, people complain it's too cold. You know, you can actually use the cold to your advantage. I found out that if you need to propose, if you need to chat a lady up and you don't know how to do it, sit on the tube, facing the lady, try to get eye contact. All you need to do is just get an eye contact. Once you get the eye contact, you can use the code to your advantage. Just go, cold in. That's an icebreaker, I tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Once you get the icebreaker, the rest is history. You're on your own. Basically, from there, you should know how to take it further from there. Seriously. And another thing I like about England is that, you know, because of the transport system, you can't avoid getting on the tube most of the time, isn't it? You get on the tube. I love it when you get on the tube and your train driver is an Englishman. In the most customer-friendly voice. This is Victoria to Central. Train about to Sometimes I don't even hear what he said. I just get on the tube, innit? I don't care. Where's he going? I don't care. We'll be all right. Have you found that when an African man is your train driver on the tube, the story is different because it's aggressive for no reason. You know, the days of struggle, all the mosquito that's beating him and all the people just come to his voice. He has to hold bass to the microphone. This is Victoria Station to Waterloo Center. Mind the gap! For no reason. You could see literally the driver will come out of the cabin. Mind the gap, mind the gap. You don't mind the gap. Are you deaf? If you don't mind the gap, you fall down and die. Oh. If you die, nobody will tell your mother. Let's go. And I just wonder, you know, you can't but wonder, isn't it? The same thing, if have you ever been called by these what do you call them again? Those people trying to help you get your money back. What do you call them now? PPI. Have you ever been in a cross battle with PPI? With PPI, they always ring my house. Can I speak to Mr. Norman? I'm like, oh no, Mr. Norman doesn't live here. I'm not Mr. Norman. All right, Mr. Norman, can I speak to Mrs. Norman then? I'm like, you can't wonder. And the interesting thing I love my Asian friends, so I have loads of Asian friends. And one thing you realize is, as soon as you start talking with somebody, you want to start talking like them, isn't it? Because of the accent.